Welcome to an hour Vinyasa Flow Christmas edition. Sans decorations, but Spotify Christmas playlist attached, and just a traditional kind of Vinyasa flow. So some chaturangas, some warrior poses, sun salutations, probably a little bit of core, and that's about it. So let's get started in child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. Walk your hands forward. Take a couple deep breaths here. Maybe come up onto the pads of your fingertips and walk your hands to the right side of your mat. Feel a nice deep stretch on your left side body. Then exhale through your center. Come to the left side. Couple breaths here. Then center yourself, and we're going to push up through tabletop. You can go right into some cat-cows. So nice deep inhale on your cow. And exhale on your cat. Just move through a couple of these on your own breath. And I like to think of starting the transition at the pelvis and then up through the spine. And then when you feel even, come to a neutral spine. We'll push to a down dog. So knees bent, probably a good amount here. Once again, you want to twist your pelvis forward. Get long through your arms and back, head heavy. Push down through your thumb and forefinger and spin your biceps and your armpits forward. Feel free to walk out your dog here, bending one leg then the other, or just be still. We'll take a couple breaths. And we're going to move to the top of the mat and end up in a ragdoll. So lift your heels, exhale, and step to the top. So bend your knees a lot here too. Should be a good release for your lower back. Grab your elbows with your hands. I don't know what else you'd grab them with. I like to bend one knee then the other here. Once again, head heavy. And then we're going to come up through an extended mountain pose and through some sun salutations. So you're going to inhale and come up one vertebrae at a time with your head last. Reach your arms up. And then forward fold. Come to a flat back. Put your hands on your shins. Look forward. And then forward fold. We'll come all the way back up to standing extended mountain. Then do that again. So forward fold. Flat back. And this time let's go through a chaturanga. So bend your elbows and up through an upward dog. Breathe in. And then push down through a down dog. So we'll just take a couple more sun salutations. So lift your heels, step to the top of your mat, ragdoll, flat back, forward fold, extended mountain, forward fold, flat back, and then down through a chaturanga. Up dog, down dog, and a couple breaths here. Lift your heels, exhale, step to the top of your mat, come up to a flat back, forward fold, extended mountain, forward fold, flat back, and then through a flow. Up dog and down dog. Lift your heels, step to the top of your mat, forward fold, up through a flat back, forward fold, stand up. Forward fold, flat back, and through a chaturanga. Upward dog, and downward dog. We're going to do one more of those and then start coming into some warrior poses. So lift your heels, bend your knees, step to the top of your mat, flat back, forward fold, extended mountain. And this time bring your hands through heart center. And we're going to do 1 Om. Cleansing breath in, cleansing exhale, in and Om. Reach up, look up, forward fold, flat back, forward fold through a chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Take a breath here. We're going to come into a warrior one on your right side. So right foot forward, left foot at 45 degrees. I like to get my balance and my hips rotated forward on this first one. So I put my hands at my hips and kind of turn them. I want to push through the knife edge of my left foot and get low with my right thigh. And then hands up, relax your shoulders, straight arms. You can look up a little bit. We'll take a few breaths here. All right, and we'll flow. So hands to the mat, through a plank, and then chaturanga, through an up dog, to down dog. Left foot forward. Once again, square your hips. Right foot at 45. Turn your hips forward. Deep bend in your left knee. And then once you're solid and you've got the pose, lift your arms. Relax your shoulders. Down your back. Look up. Reach up. A couple breaths here. All right, and then on an exhale, we're going to go down through a flow and end in down dog. So up dog and down dog. All right, we'll take a couple breaths here. And then we'll go through, let's do a warrior one, warrior two, and side angle all on the right side, and then we'll do the same thing on the left. So step forward with your right foot, warrior one right side for 3 breaths. And transition on an exhale to warrior two. Be here for a couple breaths, warrior two. You want a 90-degree bend in your right leg. Look over your right fingertips. Once again, pushing through the outside of your left foot. And let's lean forward a little bit and then drop your right hand, left hand up to side angle. Kick your right hip back. Keep pressure through your left foot. Open up your chest to the ceiling. And then cartwheel your hands down through a flow. And then from down dog, step forward with your left foot. Warrior one. Couple breaths here. Then we'll transition to warrior two. Once again, pushing through the outside of your right foot. Deep bend in your left. Look over your left fingertips. And we'll reach forward. Drop your left hand, right hand up. Side angle. And then cartwheel your hands down. Come through chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. We'll take a couple breaths here. So still in down dog. We're going to do the same thing again, but add on a little bit with a crescent lunge in there. So let's step our right foot forward, warrior one. Couple breaths here. And then on this one, just kick your left foot, your left heel up. And now your feet are on railroad tracks. And so now you're in a crescent lunge already. And we're going to do a twist. So put your hands heart center. Left elbow over right knee. I like to pull some stuff out of the way there. And then twist from your chest. You can look up. If you want a little bit more, you can come into a full bind, or you can just open your arms. We're going to be here for a few breaths, so if you want to do it, go for it. I'll go for the full bind. Just put the left arm under, right arm up, drop it back, connect the hands, and then look up. If you're still with the twist, you're building a lot of strength right now. So let's come back through the twist, through center, through your hand, through heart center. Spin your left heel down to warrior two. So we're going to hold this for a couple breaths, and then we're going to go into side angle. So once again, shift forward, right hand down, left hand up. You're in side angle. If you want a little more, you can reach for the front of the room with your left hand. Feel a left side body stretch. Hold this for a few breaths. And then we're going to reverse warrior. So keep your legs as they are, and then come up. Left hand down your left leg. Come around for a half bind if you want. Right hand to the ceiling. And then hands to the mat through chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Okay, so left foot forward, warrior one, same thing, left side. So warrior one for a few breaths. And then we're going to spin the right heel up to come into crescent lunge. You can stay in crescent lunge the whole time if you want, or you can put your hands through heart center and then twist left. And then if you're going to go for the bind on this one, getting a really deep bend in your left knee helps a lot. So open your hands or your arms, or go for the full bind. And we'll be here for a couple more breaths. So we're going to come back through this crescent lunge twist, and we're going to pivot to warrior two, left foot forward. Once again, putting weight in both of your feet. And we're going to reach forward for side angle, right hand up. If you want, you can reach forward with that right hand, feel a stretch in your right side body. And then we're going to spin up to reverse warrior. For a couple breaths. And then hands to mat through your flow. And then we'll have a few breaths here in down dog. All right, so we'll do basically the same series again. We'll add in a little bit of balance postures. So, right foot forward, warrior one. We'll be here in a little bit shorter for each one. Spin your left heel up, crescent lunge. Not enough time for a full bind, I don't think, so just stay in crescent lunge. Then we'll go to warrior two for a couple of breaths. And here we're going to transition to half moon. So a block or a water bottle is really helpful here. If you don't have a block, I just use this Nalgene bottle. And basically, we're going to lift the left leg. Want our hips stacked. Try and have a little pressure in the right hand. If you're just on your shin, that's fine. Left hand up. Left toes flexed. If you want to add on sugar cane, you can grab your left foot with your left hand. A little bit of a back bend here. If you're feeling stable. If you're just in half moon, it's a really great pose. And then we're slowly going to transition back to warrior two. So if you're in sugar cane, let it go. If you're just in half moon, we're going to slowly step back to warrior two. And we're going to go to side angle. And here, a little bit of a balance. If you want to add on a bird of paradise, we'll go there. If you're just going to stay in side angle, feel free to modify in any way you want. You can reach forward again, or you can come into a bind, half bind, with your left hand behind your back, or full bind under your leg. If you want to stay here, great. If you want to come into bird, just step your left foot forward, and you're going to use that right elbow to pull up your right leg and stand. If you're feeling stable here, you can kick your right foot up. If you're feeling unstable like I am, all right, birds come back down. We're going to go back through our side angle. And then we're going to reverse our warrior. And then hands flat on the mat and through a chaturanga. Down dog. And then we're going to come right into that same series on the left side. So left foot forward, warrior one. A couple breaths here. Spin your right heel up, crescent. We're going to stay in crescent. And let's go to warrior two. A couple breaths here before we go to half moon. So half moon, you're going to grab a block, or you're going to put your hand on your shin or the floor. So just transition forward. You want to stack your hips right over left, right hand up, toes flexed. You can look up or down, whichever you're feeling today. If you want to add on sugar cane on this side, grab your right foot with your right hand. A little bit of a back bend. And then we're going to come back through just a half moon to warrior two as slow as you can. A couple breaths here. And we'll reach forward for side angle. Once again, you can go all the way through bird. You can stay here. You can take any bind along the way. You can be in child's pose if you want. We're going to meet back eventually in down dog. So if you want to go to bird, grab the full bind, and then step your right foot forward. Use that left elbow to lift up your left leg. If you're stable here and you want to extend that leg, go for it. All right, birds come back down. We're going to meet back in side angle here. Everyone in side angle. And then we're going to reverse warrior. And then we're going to flow and end in down dog. A few deep breaths out through your mouth if you want to release heat, in and out through your nose. If you want the Ujjayi breath, I'm going to breathe through my mouth since I'm talking. And I'm liking how that's feeling on my hips. Going skiing tomorrow, so I can take all the hip flexibility I'll take everything I can get. So let's do that whole series, slightly modified, a little bit quicker on both sides before we get down on our butts. So, all right. Right foot forward, warrior one. Spin to crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Come up to half moon. Back to Warrior 2. Side angle. We're just going to hold side angle for a second, then flip to reverse. And then let's flow. Do the same thing on the left side. So Warrior 1. Crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Side angle. Reverse warrior. I feel like I forgot something. Oh yeah, we'll just balance it out with, let's go back to a half moon. Warrior 2. And then let's just reverse it before we go through a flow. There, fairly even on both sides. Up dog, down dog. Did I say one more? I meant two more. So we'll just do the same thing one more time. So right foot forward, Warrior 1. Crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Side angle. Go to half moon from there. Warrior 2. And then reverse warrior. And flow. Down dog. And up dog. Or up dog, then down dog. All right, left foot forward. Warrior 1. Crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Side angle. And we're going to lean up, come up into half moon. And then we're going to go back to Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. And then back through a flow. Up dog to down dog. So we're going to be here for a couple breaths. So just reconnect with your body, see how you feel. This should be a fairly restorative pose. We'll just take some time here, gather ourselves. All right, and get ready because we're going to do some core. So we're just going to come through a plank, look forward, just drop your knees to a tabletop, and then come to your butt. We'll start in a boat pose. We'll just go low boat, high boat a few times. So, hands up, or you can put your hands down here if that makes it easier on your back. You can have your Shins parallel to the ground. You can kick them up straight. It's really hard. So we're just in high boat. Then we're going to go low boat. Shoulders off the ground. High boat. Low boat. High boat. Low boat. High boat. All right. Then we're going to come all the way down to our backs. Slowly. Feet up. Grab behind your hamstrings. Point your toes down. Put your hands flat. You put them under your hips. You can even go over your head if you want. And we're just going to come down 30 degrees with both feet. Hold that. If you want a little bit more, you can get your shoulders off the ground. We're going to come down another 30 degrees, so you're about 30 off the floor. Then we're going to come down to just 2 inches off the floor. And we're going to go all the way back up, slowly. You still have your shoulders off if you want. We're going to do the same thing. So 30, another third, 2 inches. Let's put both feet all the way back up. Okay, keep your right leg up. Put your left leg 2/3 of the way down. Hands together, and let's pulse to the right 10 times. 10, 5. Both feet up, and then we'll do the same thing on the left side. Left foot straight, right foot down 2/3, and then pulse to the left 10. 5. Both feet up. We're going to come down 30, 2/3, 2 inches off, and let's crisscross. All right, now let's come to high boat. We'll do the Masons. I forget what these are called. Row your boat for 37, 36, 35. 30. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lay back and pull your knees into your chest. Roll around on your back a little bit, give it a little massage. All right, working our way up the body. We're going to do some upper arm strengthening stuff now. So we're going to basically come through and into a dolphin. So roll up and down your spine a few times, and then we'll end up in plank. So roll over your feet and then come to plank. And then just come down to your forearms. I'm going to move this out of the way. So you're in a forearm plank. Then we're going to walk our feet up the mat and get into dolphin. And so I like my hands flat and forward. Some people like to put them to a T up here, whichever. And so just walk your feet slowly in. as close as you can get them. And this is dolphin, super good shoulder work. At any time you can be in child's pose or in down dog. Then if you want to play around with an inversion a little bit, you can kick one of your legs up and then the other one, where you can try and go into a forearm stand. Oops, slippery. All right, let's come back through forearm plank. It's a regular plank through a chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. And let's come into an embryo pose. So on your knees, on your shins, put your head on the floor. Wrap your hands around the back of your feet, your elbows. I don't know about you, but I'm tired from that. Okay. All right, so we're going to meet back in a down dog. I'm going to go through a flow to get there, so however you want to. And let's just walk our feet to the front. Or you can hop, I guess. If you want to hop, just bend your knees, look forward, hop to the front of your mat. In a forward fold. Let's come up through extended mountain. Forward fold. Separate your feet about hip width distance. Grab your big toes. Come to a flat back. And then you're going to fold over. You can pull your upper body down with your knees bent. Elbows out to the side. Head heavy. Shake it yes and no. Okay, when you're good and got all the release there that you think you're going to get, we're just going to come up through extended mountain again. So slowly up, look up, reach up. We're going to go into dancer on the right side. So left arm, left hand up, right hand back to your right foot. And so this pose is up and out, not down, forward and up, I should say. So just kick back with your right foot, and then you're going to lean forward, palm up. Try and keep your hips as level as possible. And we're going to hold this for a few breaths. Slight bend in that left knee is super helpful. Try not to dump into your low back here. It's really easy to do that. Okay. We're going to come back. We're going to go from this into half moon on the left side. So we've been there before. So let your right foot go. Grab your block, your water bottle, a book, your shin, and we're going to come into half moon on the left side. We'll be here for a couple breaths. So if you want to grab a sugar cane, go for it. Or if you just want to focus on balance on your left foot, just stay here. And then we're going to go into half standing splits on the left side. So both hands down to the mat. Keep that right foot up. Fingertips, palms down, whichever you feel. And if you want, you can grab your left foot, your left hand, and pull your forehead to your knee. You can do some handstand hops here. If you know what those are, go for them. If you don't, this is probably a good pose for you, just to stay in. And then we're going to bring our right foot to meet our left into a forward fold. And we're going to come all the way up to extended mountain. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So put the weight into your right foot, grab your left foot. We're going to do dancer here. Little bend in your right knee, kick back. We'll be here for a few breaths. It's good to pick one spot and look at that in front of you. Helps with balance, as I need right now. All right, now we're going to transition to half moon on this side. So let your left foot go. Stack your hips. Left hand up, right hand down. Be here for a few breaths again. Sugar cane if you want it. And then we're going to put both our hands down into standing splits. Once again, a little bend in your right knee. If you want to do some handstand hops, basically you just put your palms flat. You can just get your right foot off the ground a little bit until you're pushing up to handstand. And maybe you flip over, do a somersault. Better doing it at home than in class. All right, we'll put our right foot down, our left foot down to meet our right. Forward fold. We're going to come all the way up through your standing mountain, extended mountain. And we're going to fold all the way down. We're going to end up in a down dog, so basically all the way down, flat back, down again through a flow, and down dog. Okay, we'll do some hip openers and then start shutting it down. So from a down dog, put your right foot up into three-legged dog. If you want, you can bend your right knee. If you do that, just keep your right shoulder down. Might get a good stretch on your right side body. And then come back to three-legged dog. And we're going to come into lizard. So just step your knee to nose through. Step your right foot forward. You're in a deep lunge. Put your left knee down. Put your right foot outside of your right hand. I like to roll my right foot out. You can push on a little bit if you want. And so from here, we're going to be here for a little bit. So if you need some padding under your knee, you can put a towel or a sock or something under it. You can decide here if you want to just stay up, which is great. If you want to come down, you can come down to a block and stay here. I like to also get a little bit of a quad stretch when I'm in this one. So if you want to do that, just put your left hand down kind of in front of your face. You can kind of look and turn back and then lift up your left foot and grab it. And as you pull, you should get a really good quad stretch at the same time. So like I said, we're going to be here for a couple of breaths. So take what you need. I'm going to come back through lizard. So if you're down, just push up through where we started with your arms straight and your hands flat on the mat. Then we're going to transition back through a three-legged dog. So kick your right leg back and up. And then we're going to do either pigeon, or if you don't like pigeon, you can do it on your back, which is the figure 4. So if you know what pigeon is and you want to do it, go for it. I'm going to show the people who don't want to do that. So basically, you can just come down to your hands and knees, transition to your back. I like this one more. I think I get more out of it. Right ankle over left knee. And you can pull your left knee back. Should get an opening right here on your right side. And then you can use your elbow to push that knee away. Flex your feet. And the people in pigeon are going to be there a little bit longer than the folks on their back. And so if you're in pigeon, just stay. The folks on your back, you can bring both your feet down. Kind of just spread your feet wide on your mat and knock your knees together. And then you can windshield wiper them right and left a little bit. And when you're ready, you can just do the same thing on the left side. People in pigeon, come back through a three-legged dog. You can open up your hip there. I'm going to go and do pigeon on the left side. So if you're in a down dog, you're going to go through three-legged dog on the left side. So you're going to pull your knee and your foot through the left shin, sort of parallel to the front top of your mat. That's a monster stretch if you do that. If you're in figure 4 on your back, just do what you did last time. I like to use a block-in pigeon on this side, or when I'm doing pigeon. And then here's just upright's a great spot to be. And if you want, you can come down to your elbows and then collapse all the way down to your forehead if you want. And hold this for a few breaths. If you're in the figure 4 on your back, you can bring both your feet to the floor. Put your feet wide, knock your knees together, windshield wiper them back and forth. Just take a moment to collect yourself. Folks in pigeon, get ready to come up. We're going to go back through a three-legged dog. Take any movements you want here to release that hip. And then everybody, let's meet in a down dog. So if you're on your back, you can go through a flow, but come back to down dog. Meet there for a few breaths. Okay, all right, so we're all going to go into Malasana squat, which is yogi squat. And so just bend your knees. You can come to the top of your mat, feet flat, pointed out towards the side on the ends of your mat, and just use your elbows to push your knees away or as best you can. I feel like this is really good for my hips as well on the inside. And we can release our hands to the floor. Just come down to our back sides. We're going to come into a couple bridges or wheels. So just slowly roll down.
So for bridge, have both your feet flat on the floor so you can touch your heels with your fingers that close. And then slowly starting to articulate your spine up one vertebrae at a time. You can push down with your hands. Push your hips up. You can hold this as long as you want. You could hold this the whole time while we're on our backs here doing bridges and wheels, or you can come up in and out of it however many times you want. We're going to do, let's do 3 wheels after this bridge. So I'm going to come back down. Feet basically in the same spot, but for wheel, I'm going to put my hands on either side of my head. And I'm slowly going to push up. Get on your tiptoes if you want. Try not to dump in your low back here either. So push your knees kind of together. Straighten your arms. And then come back down. So tilt your head forward. Chin towards chest. Slowly come down. Roll out your wrists. We're going to do 2 more. I'm going to lift my right leg on one and my left leg on the last one. So push back up into wheel or bridge or just be on your back. And this one, hopefully I don't slip. I'm just going to raise my right leg up and push. Then I'll bring my foot back down. And then slowly come back down. Roll out my wrists again. And then same thing on the other side. Getting a little slick down there. So come back up. And I'm going to lift my left foot this time. Bring the foot back down. Slowly, core engaged. Back down. Just put the soles of your feet together. Let your knees splay out wide. One hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Heart rate might be up. It's going to come back down. So we're pretty much, this is about the last hard thing we're going to do. We're going to get our feet up in the air next, and so I like to do a really restorative, just legs up the wall, Deepa Parita Karani. You can do shoulder stand if you want. I'm just going to grab a block. The water bottle, even though it's round, actually works too, as long as it doesn't collapse. I'm just going to lift my hips up, put the block under it. I'm just going to put my feet up, hands on the block. We're just going to be here for about a minute. You can put your hips on the next to the wall and just put your feet up the wall too. If you're in shoulder stand, you want to start coming through. Dead man's pose, your pressure pose, etc. You know what you're doing. All right, so let's come back to our backs. Yeah, we'll just do a supine twist on each side, and then we'll drop into Savasana. So right knee to your chest, you can pull it towards your armpit. I like to grab it with my elbow, pull it in there deep. And then we're going to cross our right knee over our left side. I like to kick my hips a couple inches to the right. If you got a block, you can use it on this side to kind of release some pressure, but you want to keep your right shoulder down, right hand down. And then if you want, you can look to the right, kind of get a full spinal twist here. We'll be here for a few breaths. Okay, so back through center. I like to pull both my knees into my chest and readjust my hips. And then we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So left knee up, kind of pull it into your armpit. And then keep your left shoulder on the floor. Kick your hips to the left a little bit. Reach to the left. If you don't have room, you can goalpost your arm like that. Left shoulder secure to the floor. Look over your left side and breathe. Come back through center. Squeeze both of your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Deep, deep breath. Breathe in. And when you can't breathe in anymore, just one more sip of air as you squeeze. And then let everything go into Shavasana. I like to roll my shoulders under a little bit. Let your legs flop open. Your hands take up a lot of space. Let loose control of your breath. And we're going to be here for a couple minutes. So this is where they say you receive your practice. Like most of us, you're going to have thoughts bouncing in and out of your mind of what happened today, what you're supposed to be doing, what you didn't do. That's fine. Just when they come in, let them pass by, bat them away. If you're really having trouble, just focus on counting your breaths. 1 in, 2 out, 1 in, 2 out. It's also nice to do a body scan here, so you can start either at the tips of your toes or at the top of your head and go the other way. And just notice how your body feels. You don't have to judge it, just notice it. So you can stay here as long as you want. I'm going to start bringing movement back through my fingers and toes. Hips, your ankles and wrists. And then I like to do a big good morning stretch to the left and to the right. I'm going to roll over to my side, slowly, gingerly push up to a seat. And I like to close with a few ohms. I like the little vibrations in my body. I think it ends the practice nicely. So, bring your hands to heart center. A cleansing breath in and out. Breath in. Namaste.